Today, giving us some laughter and some hope at the end of this gloomy, gloomy road is actor comedian Patrick Lescarbeau here with us today, giving us his awesome character and personality and giving us some laughs. I'm so happy to have him here, and it's always good to still remember to smile, to laugh, and in the world we live in, we need to seek that from one another from time to time. So let's welcome our guest, Patrick Lescarbeau. Let's go. Hey there.
Well,
Okay, nice meeting you in here.
hello. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll jump right in, everybody. This is Patrick Lescarbeau. Hello there, Patrick.
Hey, you know, Brandy.
I'm doing well. Just to remind everybody, this is the comedian, the actor, the all-around man that is always so busy. So what's happening with you? I know you. I saw the latest movie you were sitting out.
Yeah. Bible Wolves just dropped on Vimeo because we couldn't release it anywhere else with everything that's going on. So we released it there, and it's got some really great reception. Like in 24 hours, it had over 1,000 views. So I mean, it's gaining traction. But yeah,
Awesome.
it's been great. It was kind of astonishing to do, and of course we're still going forward with Chance and Circumstance, but we're waiting because that's a much bigger production, and we're trying to figure out everything that's going on with all the protocols that are in place. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm doing background on a SAG shoot that I can't say the name of yet. But we're going to COVID test today, which was the first time I've had a COVID test, and that was fun. I'm negative, thank God. But yeah, that was fun to get something shoved up my nose. That was great. That was
I would say tell us about that, but I don't think
yeah.
we really want to know.
Things like you don't like proctology exams. Nobody wants to hear about. This is another one of those things nobody wants to be honest.
Oh man.
It was
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was it turned out right. Well, like you said, it was negative, and that's what matters.
yeah. I mean, it was one of the, and I mean, I keep hearing about because this is the first time I've taken one, so I keep hearing about like it's a rapid test. It takes 10 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm like, there's no way. I mean, strep throat takes 24 hours. How's this gonna? I was sitting there waiting, reading my phone, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, you're done. You're negative. I'm like, oh really? Oh, okay, cool. See you tomorrow morning. See you tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're still there too. Like I know there's a moment of silence.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you're silent and you're not talking and I'm over talking you.
No worries. That's with the way things are now. That's how you got to do it. You got to give it a minute. You got.
Oh my goodness. So, how about there was like so many, like a few that you were working on. I know that wasn't it showdown at the Brazos, that was you too, right?
Yeah, we just finished filming it. Well, which is really funny because not funny, haha, funny like because the week that everything went into lockdown was the weekend we were supposed to film because I guess there were 2 days left of shooting on that. There were 2 days of pickups. And when everything started kind of coming to a head, we were still going to do it. And then Wednesday of that week, we're supposed to shoot Saturday and Sunday. Wednesday of that week, we all get an email. Oh, sorry, we're not shooting. We're going to have to move the dates out because everything in Texas got locked down. Everyone had this
Yeah.
phone. And I was like, oh, crap, are we ever going to get this done? And we did recently, about a month ago, get the last 2 days of shooting done on that. So that is actually in the can. That's done as far as I know right now.
Yay.
So yeah, it's done and it's off to the editor and ready to rock and roll, I guess there. So now I've been working in the background with some investors for Chance and Circumstance, trying to get a little bit more money for that. We raised about, I want to say, 30,000 of our $60,000 goal campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still working with some investors on that, and it's odd, we've had a couple people approach us. And I guess you've kind of made it in an industry or you've kind of made it in an area when someone doesn't want to work with you. So, because I guess we were talking to one group of investors, and I pride myself being very professional and being very amiable on set and whatnot. But there was one group of investors, I guess, that they pulled out because they're like, well, no, they won't work with him. And I'm like, oh, work with me? What? Who have I pissed off? Who
I know, right?
what? I'm originally from the Northeast, so pissing someone off is like a point of pride for me. And I'm like, who I did it to. So I'm like, this is like that game that they play now, like who's the killer. So now I'm like, who did I piss off? Who did I make will not work with me? I have to find this out now. So now I'm doing. So if you're the person that I pissed off and you're listening to this, please call me so I can piss you off some more, I guess. But I'd like to make sure that whatever I did, I continue to do it, because that if you're going to be childish, I'm like the king of petty. I can be petty right back. I can.
Well, darn it! Now you got me over here. Like, I want to know too. Shit.
Yeah, normally I know pretty well when I piss it. Like, there are some people I know that I've pissed off, but I haven't pissed off. I'm 48. I haven't pissed off anybody in years. Except for my kids. But that's routine. That's supposed to, So I was like, wow, I can't think. So now I'm racking my brain. I'm like, when was I on a set and I pissed somebody off? When was I on a? So now I'm trying to find it, and because the person's being very circumspect, and they won't tell me who it is. I'm like, oh no, please, please. I'd like to send them a get well card. I'd like to send get over your butthurt feelings card or whatever. I like.
Hey, I'm like this. If they're gonna bring it up and tell you, then you might as well let me know.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm on your side. I got you. We're gonna freaking figure this shit out.
Yeah, I will. I have enough. And the other thing. Oh, this is the other thing I'm working on. Oh, I didn't even think about that because this got put on hiatus too. There's a feature I'm working on called The Father that I'm working with a group of people here in Texas. Attached to it are people like Noel G, Robert Lescarbeau. He was in The Mule with Clint Eastwood, and there's a couple other pretty high profile names that are attached to it, and they're going to start a funding campaign in a little while, get that up and off the ground. But yeah, it's really great. It's going to be shot here in Texas, and it kind of deals with the church and drug cartels, and it's a really great story. It's just a really great story that a friend of mine, Gabe Bush, wrote. And he sent it to me and said, hey, I want you to read this real quick. What do you think? And he sent it to me like long before COVID ever happened. And I just never got around to it. And I think what happened is as soon as COVID occurred, everyone thought, oh, look at how much time I have now. Look at how much time I had to do stuff. Wow. Okay. So I just started going through old emails and reading scripts that I hadn't read before. And I was like, hey, this is a really good story. I reached out to Gabe and he was like, yeah, I was wondering when you were going to get back to me about that script. And I was like, yeah, it's really good. How do you want me to help? He goes, well, I want you to play the lead character, and we've got some people that, are coming on board, and we just got to get it funded now. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it's not a huge budget. But it's just, getting some people, like we've got to get Robert Lescarbeau out here. We've got to get Noel G out here. So, I mean, there's some, I think Michael Ochoa is in it as well. So there's some people who, I've worked on some big things that are going to be a part of this. So I'm really excited for that. We finally got like a location lockdown, which was the hardest thing to find because we're shooting part of it in a church. So finding a church to shoot a drug cartel movie, and it's not not the easiest thing in the world,
No, it's not.
Subject matter they want to do with until they read the script and were like, oh, okay, now
we see the vision.
Was going. They were like, what? Was there a cartel in the church? I'm like, well, not really.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I am okay. I had to stop for a minute again to make sure you're just silent and it wasn't something else going on there.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's pretty awesome that you have been having so much going on still during such a time where it could be either good, bad, depressing for so many things that's going on with people during this COVID roller coaster.
Oh yeah. And I'll be the first person to say it was very depressing to begin with. I'm sure you've seen me on TikTok, but TikTok was like a saving grace for me.
I know. I was like, "What? There goes Patrick.
Yeah,
Hey there."
I got on TikTok. I was like, well, I got it at first to embarrass my daughter because she said I was like, oh, I can do this. I can. And I got on to embarrass, and I thoroughly started embarrassing her. And then I was like, well, actually, I'm having fun doing these. I think I'm going to continue to do this. And she was like, oh God. And now I have more followers than she has. So that's
I saw that. I saw how you boosted in following because I remember I said, "I'm like, he just took off."
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm no bar none. I'm no tainted lyric, but it's no following. I got my following.
I was like, "Hey, I think I was on here before him." I did.
You were well before I was. Like I said, and then what happened is I was my middle daughter Jackie. She was having her birthday, and I was like, you know what would be great to embarrass her for? I'm going to do a TikTok about me making dinner. That's what I'm going to do. And she was nowhere to be found in the video because she refused to show up in the video at all. I said, this is going to go viral. So this is going to go viral, Jackie. It's going to go viral. All your friends are going to be. And of course, it didn't. It only got like 1,000 views. But I think it was all 1,000 of her friends were looking at it going like, that's your dad? Your dad's crazy. But the other thing on TikTok, in my opinion, has been good for. I mean, I mean, TikTok doesn't need any more plugging than they already have. But the big thing is, I don't know if anyone uses Linktree, but I started using Linktree.
Yes, I just started.
Yes, Linktree is phenomenal for someone like me who has been, basically stuck at home since March. But a lot of my short films, people just started releasing them, like Bible of Wolves got released on Vimeo. Some of the producers have allowed me to post them on my YouTube page. But I was like, well, I can generate some following by putting those links in my Linktree. And like, look, this movie that I was in, finally we've released it, and it's okay to be shown, to people. So my, the producers have given me permission. So here it is, and that's a lot of the views went up because of that. And I even put I made some Bible of Wolves merchandise that I have a merch link now there in the bio too. So there's like T-shirts and mugs and stuff that you can get for Bible of Wolves. But yeah,
cool
there too. So I was just like, oh, why not? Some people bought some stuff. I was like, well, crap. Okay, well, maybe for me to make money during this pandemic.
Yep. Yes, that was Linktree is awesome. I just discovered it through TikTok myself. So
yeah, I was like, wow. Because I know I saw some of the big creators. They kept saying merch link in bio. I'm like, merch link in bio.
Dear Anchor, thank you for giving me a place to create my own podcast and for free. The creation tools that allowed me to record and edit my podcast right from my phone or my computer. At Anchor, you distributed my podcast for me and put it on places like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and many more. Allowed me to make money from my podcast with no minimum listenership and has everything I need right here to make a podcast in one place. Thank you so much, Anchor. And for the rest of you, please go and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Download free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The good thing about the industry is I have noticed that it's picked up. I've had a lot more auditions in the past.
That's good.
I want to say 2 weeks than I had in the past 4 months. So things are around, but I mean, it's going to be a long gonna be a long road. Because I was on when I was on the set for Showdown at the Brazos, because I was looking at what we're gonna have to do for Change of Circumstance. Like
Wow.
they had to have a COVID officer there. I'm like, a COVID officer, really? Okay. Well, so yeah, there's a person there making sure we're wearing our masks. And the funny thing about that is, on the SAG shoots, on the one SAG shoot I was on like a month and a half ago, but I was only there one day. See, on Showdown, I was there for 3 days. I was there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But my point on that was like, as soon as I've done a scene with someone, if I've got it, they've got it now too. So why am I wearing a mask anymore? Like all the production staff, I get it. Everyone on a camera, everyone doing sound or doing makeup. Yeah, they because they're seeing only certain people during the day. They're not seeing everyone. Because I'm a supporting character in Showdown, I was basically interacting with everybody all day. So I'm like, well, once they've interacted with me without my mask on, it's over. I got it now. But nope. There's a COVID officer. We have to change our masks every 8 hours. There's Purell all over the place. And I was like, wow. Which is funny because you're thinking, okay, I'm making a Western, right? Well, Western people are dirty. Well, we have to Purell our hands in between each take. But we have to get our hands dirty right after we Purelled them. So I'm cleaning myself off to get dirty.
You just can't make shit up like this, huh?
Okay, all right, that's okay. So no, you can't make this shit up. No, I was just like, wow, I'm
oh dear,
dirty. This is crazy.
2020.
Hysterical. The movie, someone wrote that movie that like the past 4 years have just been one big like we were all in the Matrix or something, and it was all one big joke, and we just all woke up on January 1st, 2021. Like, yeah, we put you guys in an alternate reality because shit was even worse than
oh man, that would be something.
Right? There wasn't like civil unrest and murder hornets and. Which, by the way,
it
what
is.
happened to those? This is like the worst. This is like the worst written movie ever because beginning of the year we introduced the coronavirus and murder hornets, but we skipped the murder hornets haven't come back yet. Like Sharknadoes. Like there's like yeah. After the first 5 minutes of the first one, I was done. But like I said. You've got like 5 of these Sharknado movies out there. Well, you know what? Maybe this is our Sharknado.
Crazy way.
Maybe that's what this is. It's our Sharknado. Yeah.
Can't explain it. There's like no logic.
No logic behind it. There's no way it could ever really happen. But oh yes, somebody bit into a bat in China, and then
you have some good ones there, Patrick. You're the one who convinced me about Karen, right? That she was taking over people's bodies. Especially the grocery store Karens. And you walk in, you can't wear a mask. You have to wear a mask, man. And this shit gonna rip the store apart. You can't do this. I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the reasons I love TikTok. Here's one of the reasons because I'm not a person who kind of judges. I do, but I don't at the same time. But there's all these like there's these anti-maskers on TikTok. Like, see, this shit doesn't work. I'm like, well, it does because a mask is not made to make you not breathe.
Right.
It's made to mitigate the exposure.
Get out.
Thought about that. That's another film that I'm involved in. No, yeah, there's a guy by the name of Steve Merlot. Weird name, I know. Steve Wine is what I keep calling him. He wrote and directed, and they're doing an Indiegogo campaign for it right now called the Sawyer Massacre.
That is one of my favorite horror movies ever.
To the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, okay, so and we're shooting it here in Texas because I don't know if you know this, but the actual Texas Chainsaw House was in Round Rock, Texas.
Wow.
And they have moved it to a little town by the name of Kingsland, Texas. So the actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed in Texas. So at a house, but of course, I mean, all of it's
Yeah,
made up because
yeah. That one that killed his
Leatherface is
mom,
based on
no,
3 or 4
or his
different
dad. He had a
serial
brother
killers.
he killed
But
first. Yeah.
I, Ed Gein is one of the base, and somebody
Okay.
else. There's I think a Russian guy named Chikatilo. He's called the Ripper of Russia or something like that. So Leatherface is kind of based on those two characters. So I play Henry in the movie. He's a loving, doting father. And I haven't
Hmm.
gotten to see the full script, but I'm pretty sure the loving, doting father is not going to make it through the whole entire script. But
Oh, that's
yeah, we're
cool.
shooting that in 2021 out here in Texas. So they're doing the funding campaign for that right now. There's some really great talent attached to it. Jordan O'Neill, who's actually attached to Chance and Circumstance as well. He's actually in the Sawyer Massacre. So yeah, I put a, and that's the other thing. Like I put a LinkedIn. I put a
Okay.
little like link to
Cool.
the Indiegogo campaign for that too. So now it's
Yeah, yeah.
a
And
smaller
I think it's
world
cool
through
too when you like
TikTok.
know somebody that knows somebody because see with my LinkedIn, I was trying to find like more of a create, something creative, but like a window to like, I like to promote other people's projects and stuff. So, so I figured I'd have a link on there where I put like feature page and
Yeah,
it can go to like,
yeah,
say like yours or, all the people that I know that have something going. It could link my LinkedIn could help link to your stuff.
yeah. Yep. So I mean, I guess that's one of the things. I mean, if there's a shining silver lining to the pandemic,
Yeah,
that would be it. Is that I think it's forced people to figure out how to use social media more. Although I think social media is a far cry from actually interacting with people. But I mean, it's
exactly.
forced people to
Yeah.
kind of go,
Hmm.
well, this is what we got to do now. We got to do it this. There's no way. Like my father, my parents, and everybody, my family lives in either Massachusetts or Vermont. That's where all my family is now. So I've had to figure out how to connect
Yeah.
with them
Yeah.
over all of this
Like they
now. So
say, the internet could be good, could be bad, but in this situation, what would we do if we didn't, we didn't have it.
well, and I think about that because my great grandfather lived through the 1918 pandemic. My great grandfather was
Wow.
actually the bodyguard to General Pershing's son during World War One. And my family lives. Part of my family still lives in the exact same house in Yonkers, New York, that they built in 1919, right after the end of World War One. So I saw relatives that live in Yonkers in the same house that my great grandfather uh, built basically right after he got back from World War One. So I keep thinking, like, wow, how did they keep in? I mean, granted, the world was a smaller place then. There weren't as many people, but man, how did everybody keep in contact with each other if
Uh,
they had to stay inside for so long? Like there was like a year where people were basically not going out at all in 1918.
yeah, yeah. You think of like
So
now than then. You're
how did
like,
they
how
stay
do they
sane?
do it? Yeah, it's kind of yeah.
I mean, they were stronger people. They
Yep.
were they were
Very, very.
physically
Back then, they
staunch than
were.
we
I've
are.
always told people like people, that were here long before us were so much more badass than we are.
Yeah, there's that. I love that because there's that meme like on Facebook, which I don't think I put on Facebook. I don't know how. There's that meme on Facebook. It's like you may be a badass, but you'll never be being carried off the field of battle by your friend while firing at Nazis. Badass. And there's a picture of a guy at the people who shot him while he's being carried off the field of battle. And I'm like, you know what? You're
Like,
right.
what
You'll never
happened?
be that kind of badass. Well,
It's a pleasure to your spirits are always up. So that's one of the things I've always liked about you. You always know how to keep good energy going.
it's kind of what you make of it. It is what it is. Right? So I mean, like I said, I've used a lot of this time to look at okay, what what things can I get done? What projects can I work on? How can I, because I've even fixed the script for Chance and Circumstance a couple times well, I've done this. I've tightened up that script. So I mean, it's just about using your time. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. Like I said, I've been stuck in a house since March with 2 4-year-old twins. If that's not enough to make somebody go insane, I don't know what is. But I mean, you got to just keep it in perspective. That's what the big thing is. I mean, I hate to say look up, things could be worse because when they become worse, but
yes.
just count your blessings. Let's put it that way. That's
Yes,
the
for
way.
sure. For
Count the
sure.
blessings and just move
And
on for the day.
it's kind of funny how you just like, sent us out like that. Cause I was going to ask you, kind of like to give a word of how to, stay positive from like, as an entertainer and a father. And you kind of just summed that up all together right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just count what you've got and be okay
Amen.
with that,
Amen.
and realize that this too shall pass. 1918, I'm sure they thought the same thing. They felt like, wow, we're going to be wearing masks for the rest of our lives, and that didn't happen. They thought that. I'm sure during 1960s with the Watts riots and everything. Well, that was the 70s actually, but with the Norman Pettus Bridge and all that, I thought they're like, it can't get much worse than this. What? And it did get worse, but it got better. So it's always darkest before the dawn. So I mean, I think we're on our way out of it. And I would say,
Yes.
no matter which
Vote,
side,
please.
vote on November 3rd for the love of God. Vote, go out, vote, make your voice heard. And again, I mean, I don't hold anybody's political views against anybody. One of my my founding principles is a very wise saying by Thomas. Who was a dick, by the way. But Thomas. That I have never seen a difference between in political or religious convictions to be a reason to withdraw from a friend. Understand that we can both think different things. It's the extremists that we've got to watch out for. That's what it comes to. So, do your thing, go out and vote, do what you can to make everybody else around you's day better. And understand that, even though you don't think you're doing a lot, that little bit can be the light in somebody else's day.
Amen to that.
And that can make all the difference in the world.
Lescarbeau, everybody, and thank you so much. Yes, be nice.
You guys everyone
all righty, then you take care and tell your family you said hey here. Okay. Bye.
Will do.
Yay!